Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, my name's Evan. I'm a dumb dad.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers, dummy.
Welcome back to school.
Welcome back to class. We've already taken attendance. We are both in hoodies, so dress code is on lockdown, and your sideburns look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Probably post a clip about that.
I mean, it's our responsibility.
Evan's not my sideburns guy. We were talking about before.
I thought I just got hired as the sideburns guy. Or did I just get fired as the sideburns?
You're an intern. You're my sideburns intern.
Yeah. See how long I can stick around.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm good. Kids are back at school.
Yep.
So, that's... here's the thing. My kids are back in school for a day.
One day.
We're in the middle of the week as we record this podcast. I know a lot of people, they've been back for a little while. Here in Southern California, public schools went back this week.
Beginning of this week.
And
3 weeks off for winter break.
3 wild, sickly weeks off of holiday bliss.
Yeah. I have to say, we got lucky. Especially knowing now that we're through it. And then, I'm telling my son, not everyone's going to be in your class. Not everyone's going to be back.
Oh, sure.
Some people like to stretch their vacation. Mm-hmm. Some people are going to be sick. They won't have made it back. They're still sick, whatever. Because that was definitely the hip trend in parenting during the winter break was you're all going to get sick. You're going to get sick and going to be sick the whole time. We didn't really get sick.
Yeah.
It's like my son kind of had... We couldn't really tell if he was sick because he was so snotty that he's talking like this. Yeah,
that's sick.
Right, but no fever, wasn't sweating.
Sure.
Didn't have a cough. That's all it was. It was like a horrible stuffy nose for 5 days. Sounded hilarious. Went through. He's 7, and so he doesn't know how to blow his nose. So
needs a fresh tissue each time.
He went through 4.5 boxes in 2 days.
Yeah.
we just kept handing him Target bags, and he would just
to blow his nose
every 5. Yeah.
To blow his nose with a Target bag.
His red. It was so red. His nose just raw because it's recycled plastic. He would just take a Kleenex, blow a little bit, set. And it's every 5 minutes because he doesn't know how to clear the pipes and start. Anyway, it was fine. We're just whatever he needs to do. He just has his little Target bag of Kleenexes.
I'll let my kids go through quite a few tissues before I turn into the dad who's chastising his kid for being I'm done my wings, and you're there's plenty more meat on that bone. That's how I am with the tissues. I'm no, you use this again. This is yours.
Fold
for the
it
next
over
10 minutes because my kids aren't blowing their nose efficiently either.
No, they're kids.
They're putting it to their nose and then with their mouth going, and you're that's not how any of that works. You can't, I don't want to blow your minds, kids, but you can't blow out of all 3 face holes at the same time.
Watch me. So yeah, I will say we got lucky that he had that. And then when he was kind of done, my wife and I both woke up the next day with kind of sore throats. And then a little bit of that feeling man, I think tomorrow I might get sick. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't. Yeah. That was as worse as it got for us. We felt pretty lucky, all things considered. I know you guys went through the elemental table of sickness over here in your household. Just got it all done at once.
I mean, the rest of my family did.
Yeah,
everyone
that's true.
In my
how did you do that?
Everyone in my family that's not currently on this podcast got horribly ill.
Even your dog.
Even the dog. Yeah,
just kidding. He's producing right now.
He's sick of the postman. I was I show up every day and leave his garbage on our.
Anyway, all that to say, we're back, and then of course, you made it one day, and then little man got sick.
Yeah, that goes into my dumb dad moment.
You want to just jump right into it?
I am jumping right
perfect.
into it.
Okay, good. I see how I read that. What you were doing there.
So first day back at school, everything goes fine. I mean, it was just such a false start in general because it was, and I know the rest of the country's going through it in their own way as well, but it was just so gross and rainy. It was just you kind of want the sun to be shining when you send your kids away. Like, not so they're sad because the sun's shining, but for your own heart.
Yeah.
For your happiness.
It was shining pretty bright inside my chest when I sent them back to school after 3 weeks, I'll tell you that.
It was just so rainy, and it was fine. Like, the kids, like, my daughter and my son get excited. They get to use umbrellas. That's Southern California mega drought children. Mm-hmm. So pumped about an umbrella. I forget we own these. And I was like, well, dust them off.
Yeah, I know. You could use it twice a year.
Yeah.
2 days out of the year.
You know, you open an California umbrella outside, it's because the dust will.
I know. I was telling you, my son got like one for his birthday, and it's like this little Harry Potter umbrella. Well, like a personal umbrella. You know, like a little short, stubby one. I don't know what are those? Personal umbrellas? Small umbrellas?
I think it's just umbrella.
Right, but it's not a huge umbrella as the picture I'm trying to paint here. It's just like a little one you like.
I feel like there's a golf umbrella, and then there's just regular umbrellas.
And then there's regular umbrellas. This is like that, it's not that tall, but he's got like all the houses from Harry Potter on there.
There's golf umbrellas, funeral umbrellas, and then just umbrellas.
What about lace umbrellas for like fancy sun? There's sun umbrellas.
Those are still umbrellas, though.
See, well, this is a different podcast. The umbrella podcast.
There's beach umbrellas. There's
what about a drink umbrella?
Table umbrellas.
Yeah.
Oh, cocktail umbrellas.
Yeah, there's cocktail umbrellas.
But for mice, those
Kevin,
are just
it's
umbrellas.
It's an umbrella. So and it's cool. Like when it gets wet, the house is like colorized. It looks like a black and white umbrella when it gets wet. The color. It's like the first day we go outside. It's like barely sprinkling. I'm not trying to do the California thing I'm from Seattle, where it's like, oh, you babies, it's not raining right now. It's sprinkling, but there is different levels of rain. Just like
specify to Los Angeles. I was seeing a lot of like social media, like dogging on Californians, and like every Californian right now, and they're making fun of them. And I'm like, listen, it's justified, but like other people's houses in California are underwater.
Yeah, it's like when it dumps rain, like it's
make fun of
before.
LA, go wild, have fun with it, but don't say California. It's pretty real for a lot of people right now.
It's pretty real for a lot of people right now. So anyway, but it's like sprinkling, and I'm like, we're trying to get to school. Mm-hmm. Our back door is like 60 feet from the car.
Yeah, and
he's like standing there for 2 minutes trying to get this thing to unfold and open it so he could take it to the car. I'm just like standing there with him. And at one point, I'm like, how about we just do that when we get to school? Because the car's right there, man. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those things. I can't stand there and watch you do this anymore. I'm going to pass out.
And you think you do all right at Hogwarts, huh?
I don't think I'd be. I don't know that I do very well at Hogwarts.
The day went fine. And then that night, my son was like, he was coughing pretty good. And we're like, oh, that's kind of, come on, man. What's going on here? Like, what are we doing?
Where are you? We're 2 steps back. Where are you going?
They go to bed that night. They wake up. Everyone wakes up the next morning. We're like, all right, let's go. Let's go again. Let's make it happen. And he coughs when he first wakes up a bunch of times, but he's a smoker, He's 3. He seems like one the morning, but I'm like, let's feel it out. My wife's like, I don't know if you should go to school. And I was like, let's feel it out. Let's see what happens. Again, pouring rain. And I was like, let's feel it out. So we get my daughter off to school because she goes first. And then I can wait another like 20 minutes before I have to leave to get my son to school.
Yeah.
So then like by the time it's time for him to go, I'm like, I think he's fine. My wife's like, I feel like he should stay home. And I was like, I think he's fine. And this is my dumb dad moment. Didn't trust my wife. It's not my daughter. My daughter is spot on. Like, we need to trust her. She's if you listen to this podcast, she's been right every time.
She's got a pretty good beat on her own well-being and how you think of that.
Yeah. So if she's just like, I think I broke my arm yesterday, you're like, fine, you broke your arm. Like, deal. Like,
first of all, go to bed.
I don't know how that happened.
Second of all,
trust her from now on. The son has no opinion. Like, he's 3. He'll go to school without an arm, and because he just likes school. So I was like, but I'm going to take him to school. But it was a game time decision. So we left later than I'd like to. Not late. Later than I'd like to. But the first day of school, Monday, Everyone drove fine. We got to school and everything was fine. I got to school or even 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I leave and everyone forgot how they were driving yesterday because there was just.
I think it's just a new set.
It was like
it's just a new set of drivers.
Maybe it was like you can drive today. I always drive, and it was just littered with car accidents. Siri, you had me take a different way. Don't appreciate it because
You don't think the normal way was just that much worse?
Here's what she did. She said, and then I'm sure everybody's had this moment, but it was increasingly frustrating. It said, save 3 minutes, turn right on Balboa. And I was like, okay. And it had my arrival at he has to be at school at 9. It had my arrival at 8:56. What did I say? 4 minutes, something like that. Save 4 minutes, turn right on Balboa. Great. Turn right on Balboa. New estimated time, 9:08. And I was like, excuse me?
You missed the window. Yeah. You had to do it before we suggested it. Now everyone did it.
It was supposed to be your idea.
Now you're in trouble.
We suggested it to everyone, and they all took it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm already we're gonna be so late. Then we get on the highway. I'm from the Northeast. I've seen pretty bad rainstorms. It was the worst I've seen out here by far. It was windshield wipers going fast.
Sheets?
These sheets, and it was just going fast. I'm looking at the time, just ticking up and up and up, while this guy is smoking a cigar and inhaling. He's just hacking along. He's just going wild. And it was just I could either push through this and get him there a half hour late at this point because the time just keeps going up.
Yeah.
Or I can just call it now. So I called it. I was like, all right, I made the wrong move. I didn't listen to my wife. And it was more out of selfishness. I wanted him to go to school so bad.
Yeah.
We
just had him 3 weeks and he's been back one day.
He's been back one day. And that day, nobody gets anything done the first day. I talked to another parent friend that night, Monday night, and he was like, "Did you get anything done today?" I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what you mean. But I was like, all right, we're turning it around, end navigation, route me back home. Cause I'm I know how to get home, but maybe you can redeem yourself. Anyway, I was in that car for 1 hour.
You never went further than 2 miles from your house.
And I went a few miles from my house, but it is not an hour round trip.
No.
And I didn't go on the round trip. It was not even halfway. And it was just I was just there for an hour. I was just stuck in bumper to bumper traffic.
Hope you enjoyed your drive, son.
Nothing.
Yeah. We went and saw some rain in the car and then we came home.
And then, of course, because I didn't listen to my wife and didn't pull the trigger sooner or at home and just was we're not doing it, he lost it when we pulled onto our street. He was like, "I'm not going to school." And he just bawled his eyes out. And
you betrayed him.
Yeah. We made a fun day of it. He had a good time. We went out in the galoshes. I was a shell of a man. I was looking at all the other parents driving in a car by themselves, and I don't know, just watching old baseball games for no reason. Through their window, I could see them doing it. Everyone looked so happy. I love my kids, but it was just
happily alone. Is that what the picture you're painting to us?
Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's how the world gets you. I was resolved that I was not gonna take him to school today. I was like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's just he's never going back to school. This is it. He's gonna have a cold forever I'm gonna homeschool him. I get it. This is fine. And he woke up.
Yeah, it's crazy. You're president of 2 PTAs.
2 PTAs. And he woke up perfectly fine. And he went to school today. So it was nice. I had a nice day today.
I did notice he was missing an arm, but
I didn't care.
But he was there.
Yep.
He had a great time. Learned how to write left-handed. That's great. I love the. It's funny how that situation happens, and then it's just sheeting rain on your car. So it's just an added scenario of what is the world gonna just? Is it all gonna be over today?
That was the worst part. Before my son started crying too, I was just like, "Hey, buddy, it didn't hit him." I told him. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna turn around. We're gonna go back home."
Yeah.
I was like, "You're gonna be really late, and you're definitely sick. And you want to get your friend sick." And it didn't bother him then until it hit him when we got home. But then he's just at one point, it's just raining sheets And he's just like, Dad, can you put on this song? And I was like, absolutely not. No, I need to focus.
We're not going to do that song
Normally,
7 times in a row.
In Southern California, I can just kind of talk to Siri or just tap repeat.
Yeah.
No, this
no.
takes my immediate focus. We are going to listen to this Grinch song on repeat until we get home.
Because you know why? He's speaking to my little shriveled heart right now at the same time. Me and him, same.
I want to watch the Grinch, and I want to turn it off before they start singing at the end.
It's every time he comes on screen. You and me both, brother.
Why they got to sing so much?
Hey, speaking of belated Christmas references, so here's my dumb dad moment.
Okay.
So, as you know, my son's birthday just passed, and it's pretty close to Christmas. And, we didn't try to do that. It just happened. He was 3 weeks early.
Yeah.
The thing about that is, like, when he was born, it was like, man, because his due date, it was like, whatever, late January or February or something. And it's like, that's so close to Christmas. Oh, well, we'll always make a conscious effort. Then he's 3 weeks early. It was like, oh, okay. That's even closer.
Yeah.
So it's been a concerted effort of ours to separate the two because the rest of his life is going to be, hey, got you a Christmas present and your birthday present too. That's going to be his whole life.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Sure.
Coworkers, whoever. And so we try to make a concerted effort, like separate the two. Now, here's the thing. We also make sure, so let's enjoy our Christmas decorations, and then hopefully, like, let's say at the turn of the year, let's take them all down so that it's a breather between the two events. So he doesn't ever feel like slighted, cheated, whatever.
Right.
That it's like, well, they're up, and so we didn't, whatever. So my wife and I, because it's a holiday winter break and things are still busy and all this stuff going on, we kept kind of mentioning to each other, maybe her more so to me, let's make sure we gotta take these decorations down. Like, yeah, I know. And then it was like, then we just wouldn't do it that day because things got in the way and we just didn't decide to go get the bins and put it all away.
Yeah.
Fast forward to, we should have done it, but now it's birthday eve.
Still have Christmas up.
So Christmas is still up.
Fantastic.
And here's my dumb dad moment.
Hit me.
I sort of, not that I forgot, but making sure that the two events are so separated for him specifically was not a focus in my mind. When she's saying a couple times, we really got to make sure we try to, like, tonight maybe we can, like, put a little bit away and whatever, and then we just wouldn't get to it. That's her intention as well. It's like, we got to make sure before his birthday that's down. And that night, I'm like going out to get the bins, and I'm like, we should have done this earlier. Because I'm also thinking at that point, maybe we'll take some just major stuff down tonight. Who knows how far we'll get before we get tired.
All of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we went to bed at 1:30, almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, putting Christmas away.
Putting Christmas away. Knowing that the next day, we took him to Universal Studios for his birthday. So knowing the next day was a full theme park day where you might like to get your rest because the kids are going to want to do all of it, and you're going to be carrying some kids and all that stuff. Went to bed at like 1:30. Got it all down, put it all away, took the bins out to all of it. Got it out.
Well, the good news is that he was able to wake up that morning and get, on his birthday.
Yep.
He got to wake up that morning and have a nice, harsh reminder, oh, right, Christmas is over.
Yeah. Although we did, the other part of the reason why it took us so long is because then we decorated for his birthday.
Right.
It was kind of, we went to Universal Studios. He's super into Harry Potter right now. We've been reading the books with him and everything. So that was kind of the main thing, was like, we're going to go to Universal Studios, but we're going to take you to Harry Potter land, whatever, like, wizardly world of magic and mischief. And so we put it like, I'm in the garage blowing up balloons with a helium tank.
Good for you.
Because I had to go back and get one. because I just bought regular air. It's the previous dumb dad moment in the last episode. And so yeah, I'm out in the garage. Like I'm just in the garage by myself blowing up Harry Potter balloons at like midnight. Tying them off, bringing them in one at a time.
What a joyous occasion.
So it was fun. My wife and I, it's like you could tell we're just in like work mode. Both got a podcast in, both just like crushing a task. I'm coming in. She's like opening the streamers and getting the scotch tape, taping the stream. Like it was just hilarious. And then by the time it was bedtime, it was like, I love you. Okay, me too. Good night.
Yeah.
Just go to bed and like fall asleep in 1 second.
I will say in your defense, as of this recording, which is decently into January.
Sure.
We still have all of our Christmas stuff up.
Your tree's not up.
The tree we got rid of pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It served us well. Got that down. Because I was excited to I love the tree, and then when it dies, it's like, can't wait to get rid of it. Can't wait.
Yeah. Satisfyingly put it in the yard waste bin,
and
with
then
nothing else in the yard waste bin, and it just hilariously sticks out the top of it.
I put like 8 handfuls of leaves. Our yard is covered before I threw the tree in.
You have about another 284,000 handfuls out there.
I also, a little dad hack that I tell people that I do, and I did it this year. I don't know what made me think to do this, but the first year we moved in this house, 2020, that Christmas, we got a live Christmas tree, go to put it in the compost bin. I cut off about an inch to, it's probably about an inch thick slice of the trunk. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I've just done it every year. And I have 20, 21, 22.
Of like the bottom inch of your Christmas tree?
Trunk. I just cut off the base, put that in the garbage, and then when I'm about to put it in the compost, cut off like a nice little wedge of it. And I've been saving them every year, which is, here's the best part. 2020s, the nail that they used was just like exceptionally long. So when I took that thing off, like a third of it like snapped off in a way that I couldn't get a perfect wheel. Yeah. And I was like, nah, this works for 2020.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. I'm not mad. Any other year, I'd be like, oh, that's a shame.
Maybe I'll go up a little higher. It'll be smaller. No, that tracks.
No, this is exactly where it should be.
I don't know. Maybe how you said they're like an inch thick.
Yeah, I made sure to intentionally make them pretty thick. So it's like, I don't know. Am I going to turn these into coasters or whatever? And I take a little Sharpie and I just like very little write the year on them. So it's like, I know which one's which.
I like that. Yeah. Coaster seems like so easy, but it probably wouldn't be bad. I mean, I wouldn't mind making a table out of them. You know, you put glass on, like playing them all down. When I have that's like, I'm talking like 20 years. Yeah.
To do that. So probably not going to do that.
But you could like, and it's going to be softwood too, because it's pine or something. So it's really soft, but you could like shellac it or something. Shellac it or like a bar top resin coated or something.
I should do that before I make it.
That's cool. I like to do that.
Thank you.
What a thoughtful guy.
But it's been raining so much that none of us, like neither my wife and I are like motivated to go get bins out of the garage and bring them in the house and put all the stuff away and go back to the garage. And like the lights are still up. We're the last house on the block.
Our outside lights are still up, I'll say that. That's because it literally has rained here for the last like 12 days or something like it. And like hard rain.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you put a ladder up, it's sinking into the ground.
Yeah, exactly. So our outside lights are something we just haven't had the like time to do it. I mean, it's like been crazy. The one day was it really sunny. We were at Universal Studios. I was like, I'm not.
We had one day it was sunny, and then I left the lights on. I put the Christmas lights on that night, and then the next night it was sunny, and I let the Christmas had the Christmas lights on for a couple hours on purpose, so then I can unplug the water bags that are those inflatable lawn characters to like dry them out for 2 days. Those I put in the garage and I just chucked them in there because then it started raining again.
Yeah. Those are moldy.
Yeah, we'll see if they come out next year. Blow them up and they're like, why does it look like a monster? Why does it have hair?
That's good. Well, so there you go. Yeah, dumb dad moment was just pay attention, man.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what you're doing, because you're paid for it. and we paid for it.
Yeah.
That was a long day the next day. It's been a while since I've had to do like a pretty much open to close park visit.
That's pretty wild.
It's a lot for like, I mean, I know,
It must have been a lot for your youngest.
Yeah, I will say we sort of part of the winter purge we were going through, getting rid of stuff we didn't need. I convinced my wife, like, we don't need our strollers anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, think about how many times are we really going to be somewhere and need a stroller? Like, think about it. Uh-huh. And she agreed. So we were like, yeah, I think we put them on buy nothing or whatever. And but I was like, but I did tell her, I was like, so we go to a park for a day, whatever, we'll rent a stroller. Mm-hmm. So we did. We went there. The first thing we did, go to guest services and rented like whatever when they rent you. Uh-huh. It was like $600 for the day.
Sure.
It really wasn't that bad.
I think butler.
I think it was like whatever. I think it might have been like $20. It wasn't even that bad. But I did like it. It was actually really light, and it was a double stroller. But it was like I was like really thinking. Cause she was like, my son had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, she goes, we get the double stroller, and I'm like, I don't know. Like that started to freak me out because like, it's double wide. It's not like the stroller that we bought when we bought a double stroller was one in front of the other. I was like, I can't do the thing that doesn't fit inside of a doorway stroller. I can't do that. And
if you do a double wide, you're supposed to be on your phone.
Can't look up.
Kind of taking middle of the road. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Didn't really feel like me. So yeah, but this thing went through all the doorways and everything. And it was a double wide, but it was compact enough. Yeah. But my son had to go to the bathroom. So as I'm like, and he's like, I have to go. So and she's gonna get the stroller. She's like, what do you think, the double wide? I'm like, I don't know. Just consider like if it doesn't go on the escalators or like otherwise we're standing in a line of 50 people to use an elevator. That's what I was like freaking out about, thinking like, yeah, get the stroller. Wait a second, that might be horrible. Needless to say, it was fine. She was asking him like, are we limited if we get this thing? Because you'd think like, yeah, just get the double, whatever, and then
you probably walked
can't
away
go anywhere with it.
And the employee was like, oh, thank God he's gone. Yeah, you'll be fine. You don't think we don't think about these things?
How long have you guys been married?
Yeah, we know how Yelp works. We made it work.
Well, that's right. I guess we didn't think about that.
Oh, shucks.
Considering we have like 100,000 people coming through here every day.
We made them too big for a park where everyone's bumping into each other. Shame. Better luck next park.
Anyway, that'll be $89.50.
Yeah. Do you want insurance with that? Why would I want insurance?
Because if this thing comes back with a scratch on
some of these set on fire. What?
I would say, like I said, it was light. It was quick enough. It had like the wheels in the back were like hard plastic, right? Mm-hmm. Which is fine. The thing rolled really nicely. It was easy to maneuver because it was light and everything. But when you're going through the Harry Potter part of Universal Studios, I mean, it's like 75% cobblestone. And the whole thing, like the kids, I could just tell when they're like,
this is so cool.
Like trying to sip something or whatever. I can just imagine them going like, what the hell?
There's Hagrid.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's my hands like this. It's good. Fun had by all. And we were able to get it done. So
that's great.
That feels like a pretty good check-in.
Well, I do want to do a quick shout out. We've been talking in the last two podcasts about like anxiety.
Yeah.
I've been going to the ER.
Yeah. Previous podcast
I went to the ER.
Yeah.
Listen to it. It's so fun.
But I will say
it's fun.
It's relatable. I mean,
the reason I bring that up is, one, to kind of check in because I want to thank everybody who reached out.
For sure.
I will try to respond to everybody's messages if I haven't, but I will get to them. I appreciate all the kind words and stuff, people DMing and emailing. Really awesome. Really kind words. A lot of people kind of relating and giving advice and really helpful because I was talking to somebody today about it in the DMs, and I said, I was like, it's funny, I never thought I would be that person, but neither does anyone.
Right, yeah. I mean, like I said, when we talked about it last week, it's like I didn't have until I was like 29, like early 30s, and like it's been in my family for years and years and years, and always like struggled to sort of try to understand it or whatever. But it's a lot different when it's you, and then it's almost like not full circle, but then it's like, oh, I understand so much of what I didn't understand before.
Right. So so my anxiety has been, I've been doing good. It's day to day. I definitely had like a day late last week that had I not gone to the ER, I would have gone then. Like it was just like, it was bad. It was spiraling, but I knew like, I just got to get through this and, working through it day to day, figuring out what works best for me. But I just wanted to say, thank you everyone, for reaching out. And that kind of gets me to, a user submission of a dumb parent moment.
Beautiful. If you have one, by all means, send it to us. Whether it's a dumb parenting moment or your own story that you'd like to share, that you would like to read us on the podcast, we would love to do that. That's what I'll piggyback on what Kevin was saying. It just makes all of this so much more relatable. That we're willing to share your experience with us last week, because you kind of realize, I think this goes back to even some of the stuff that we've talked about in our posts when we started doing TikTok and Instagram and stuff. It was like, let's just do the stuff that makes us laugh. But then once in a while you think, I really want to do this specific thing, but am I like the only parent that this has happened to? Or is it like, no. The answer is no. It's happened to way more people than you think.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of times what our comment section is even filled with. Like, how are you at my house? How do you know that this is exactly how we do this? Or what, because a lot of it is sort of the same. Everybody has their own individual style of parenting and moments or ways that they have anxiety into their life or how they can deal with it best suits them. But the important thing is talking about it, because it all helps a little bit.
Yeah. And definitely talk about it. It's been really nice. Got some great advice from people, like book recommendations, talking about talk therapy, how much it helped them and things like that. So, if you're going through something like that, reach out to somebody, because as much as I am still happy, I went to the ER because quick recap. Nobody listened to if you didn't listen to the last podcast, I thought
spoiler alert.
I didn't know if it was like, am I having a heart attack or is there something else wrong that I don't know about? I'd have to know. I have to check that box, and it has to be with a medical professional. And I am happy I did that. But it was one of those, like, it's kind of like the ultimate good news, bad news of, the doctor didn't diagnose me with anxiety. So there is that like devil in my brain that's like, well, it could be. So there was that, but like getting the heart, cleared off the list of just like, your heart's in great shape. It's definitely not that. Was nice to do. I'm just saying, talk to somebody, get the, reach out to somebody, because you'll be surprised at what they can do to help. And I just want to say thank you. And one of the dads that reached out, his name is Kyle. He wrote some really kind words that, I really appreciate, but he also submitted a dumb dad moment, and we are going to read that on the podcast.
I'm excited.
So he wrote, "Hey guys, my name is Kyle and I'm a dumb dad." And I appreciate
thank you, Kyle.
I appreciate that start. I wanted to share a dumb dad story with you guys. It was about a week before Christmas, and we packed our almost 2-year-old daughter into the car to go to a coworker's holiday party. It was a moderately brisk 35 degrees below zero as I backed out of our garage and caught a quick glance of the precariously perched Amazon boxes that arrive to our house at a rate that by now must be alarming to even the saint-like delivery drivers who face near death every day to deliver necessities like our dog's specially curated paw wax. He sure did. He's in Alaska, by the way. I meant to start with that. It explains the 35 below.
And why you would need to wax a dog's paws.
Of course.
Right. Because that statement was wild a second ago.
Yep. We had an equally fun and expectedly awkward time at the work function holiday party. I left with the premature joy of an oblivious dad that my daughter had managed not to break or stain anything overly expensive at my wife's coworker's house. And then we got home. It was then that I was reminded that living in Alaska never fails to amplify my ineptitude. Unbeknownst to me, the aforementioned Leaning Tower of Amazon boxes must have collapsed as we pulled out of the driveway a few hours before. Undoubtedly, this tripped that expletive-filled safety laser on all garage doors. That causes them to immediately reverse course faster than my toddler after she runs up to me wide-eyed, tapping her bottom and screaming, "Poop, Daddy, poop!" At any event, our garage door was left wide open that night, and it didn't take long for our copper pipes to freeze, burst, and cost me thousands of dollars in plumbing bills. The only intelligent thing I did that night was let my smarter-than-me pediatrician wife convince me to put down the YouTube videos on DIY plumbing I already had queued up and call in the professionals. And order a $20 smart device that now tells us if our garage door is closed or not.
$20 smart device. That's a key piece of information there.
Take care, guys, and know that you are not alone. Kyle from Alaska.
Oh, Kyle.
That's a bummer. Great story.
That's a bummer. Man, what a bummer. Dude,
so good.
The laser trip, and then you're just whistling Dixie on down the road to a work party, and your garage door is reopening. Like, did you need something else?
You sure?
Maybe at least the boxes are still. That's where I thought it was going. Like, and I knew that because the boxes were gone.
Oh, I know. I'm expecting the boxes were gone. You ran them over. They're in the middle of the road. No, worse. All of it's worse.
All of it's so much worse because it's your pipes, Alaska frozen pipes.
That burst. Thousands. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well.
But again, your daughter behaved at the party.
Hey, you know what?
A win's a win.
Sometimes a win will cost you.
A win always costs you. You always...
You're sacrificing something, man.
When things go too well, you're ignoring something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Your brain is occupied by how well this is going. The burner's on.
Yeah. Oh, man, that is absolutely wild. Well, again, hey, send us your dumb parenting, dumb dad moments, or stories that you would like us to share. Again, they can email us at dumbdadpod@gmail.com. You could DM us. We are the Dumb Dads on social media. And, please send in your stuff. We love reading it. And obviously, like we said before, this helps just kind of normalize the insanity that is parenting.
Love reading it. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for the support on this journey. Hang in there. You're not alone. And thanks to Ed Verdu on SoundCloud for the music to this podcast. And thanks, as always, to my lovely wife, Annie, for editing this podcast.
Yep.
Do you have something to ruin the podcast?
Yeah, I got something to bring it all back down to earth. You ready?
Great.
Here we go. What is brown and all sticky?
I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A stick.
Why are they always sticky?
It's just like it's all sticky.
Oh,
Just being a stick. Yeah.
Sticky. No.
The sap? No, it's just like, it's all sticky. It's a cute way to, we'll unpack that later. Okay, thanks for joining us.
Bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?